So Tarkov just received a small but very significant update. This new patch seems to fix the major problems with scavs and AI in the game currently. There are also some other general changes, so let's just dive into the patch notes. So the in-game season has changed to spring. It looks very good. It's kind of like summer but less green, so I'm a big fan. Disabled the less optimal technology of transparent object rendering. This change is aimed at improving the game client performance on all locations. Haven't really noticed a significant performance increase. I've played for a couple of hours at this point after this new patch, but haven't really noticed a massive difference. The game does look a little bit weird though, very shimmery and weird, but it could be my DLSS, so I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions there. They have optimized the technology of flashlight and lamp illumination rendering. Haven't really noticed a significant difference, but okay. Added the ability to change DLSS model preset in RAID, so good quality of life. Now let's get into the meat of this update, the really important stuff, which is the AI behavior improvements. So basically they readjusted the system of enemy detection for AI. So now the bots notice and lose sight of you gradually rather than instantly. And the detection speed is affected by many factors, including weather conditions, distance, and angle to the target. And like I said, I've played for a couple of hours now and tried to test this out a little bit, and the changes do seem to function as they are described here. So this is very, very promising. And the AI seems to function a lot better. So the further away the enemy is, the longer it will take to detect them. The greater the angle between the bot's view and the enemy, the longer it will take to detect them. So basically, if a bot is facing you, like a scav is facing you, they will detect you a lot quicker than if they have their back turned to you. The heavier the rain and or fog is, the longer the enemy detection speed is and the shorter the maximum enemy detection range. I didn't really get to test this out very thoroughly. I didn't really get any fog or heavy rain in my raids with scavs around me, but hopefully this works. The visibility impact of fog and rain is negated if both the bot and the target are indoors. That makes a whole bunch of sense. The detection speed is linear, and at very close ranges, the impact of angle is much smaller than at further ranges. So basically, the closer you are to a scav, the less important it is that they're looking at you in order to be able to detect you, which makes a lot of sense, right? And I don't think scavs in the game react to sound being produced. So this could sort of be an imitation of that, right? Because obviously you don't need to be looking straight at someone to hear if someone's there if they're very close to you. So that makes sense. And the visibility reduction is combined from all of these factors. They adjusted the coefficients of enemy silhouette detection influence, so the bot detects a standing target the fastest, then a crouching target, and then a prone target the slowest. Makes a lot of sense. I'm assuming this was to some degree then already in the game and has been tweaked to be more impactful, which is good. They adjusted the AI visibility depending on vegetation. This is fucking massive. This is so huge. They removed the ability to see the enemy through gaps in vegetation at medium and long ranges for all bots, including bosses, except for Sriachi, Bird Eye, and the BTR, which, you know, I guess makes sense. It's sort of the sniper bosses and, you know, the BTR, so. Now, bots will no longer be able to see through gaps in trees and bushes, but if there is a space between separate vegetation, so bush to bush, the bot will still be able to see the enemy. This system will be further improved in future patches to make it even more predictable. This is fantastic. You know, this is the whole problem that everyone has had a negative experience with, I'm certain of getting shot through bushes by scavs. So hopefully that eliminates this annoying issue. The common AI of all difficulty levels, sniper scavs, raiders, rogues, and boss guards, excluding bosses themselves, now always switch to single fire if fighting at long range. In close range fights, the bot can switch to full auto if their weapon has this option. Now this is an interesting change because the way that scavs used to work is that they wouldn't really full auto you at range, they would burst at you. And if they were all of a sudden accurate, because, you know, hey, their programming said so or whatever, you would get like hit with like a burst of bullets at once and take a lot of damage. So it was like really sketchy. So this is probably a little bit of a nerf to scavs and will make them less lethal at longer ranges. Unless they are all of a sudden, you know, going to be way more accurate as a result of using semi-automatic, which hopefully isn't the case. They reduced the distance at which bots relay information about an enemy. Thank fucking God. Previously, if a bot saw an enemy or lost contact with a previously spotted enemy, they would report it to other bots around them. This created too much AI pressure on the player. Yes, it did, with groups of bots cooperating and attacking the player in cover. This was this shitty feeling of like, you would just get swarmed with scavs all of a sudden if you killed one or aggroed one. So I'm very, very happy they changed this. After this adjustment, the information relay distance has been reduced to 50 meters if the bot is not in a group. However, AI scavs can group together, in which case the information is relayed to a further distance. That last part is very interesting because I did not know that scavs could technically be in groups. I'm assuming this might actually be a new thing for this patch. I'm very curious though, is that something like, do scavs group up and is that sort of predetermined at spawn? Or do they dynamically team up when moving around the map? That's very interesting. Either way, I think that's a good change. It also makes sense, obviously, right? Like if someone teams up and is rolling in a trio, it makes sense that they, you know, would communicate at longer ranges. That's kind of fine. So this might actually mean that we're going to see little, you know, squads of scavs roam around the map and kind of work a little bit together. That's very interesting. Common AI of all difficulty levels can no longer use suppressive fire. That's pretty big a change, to be honest. This ability is still available to raiders, rogues, and bosses with guards. That makes a lot of sense. You know, they're kind of high-end combatants, so I don't mind that they can still utilize that. Previously, AI would use suppressive fire at an enemy behind cover. Yes, and it was really fucking annoying. Accidental kills through thin cover with suppressive fire created the feeling that the AI could always track the player through the walls, which led to a mostly negative game experience, a very negative one. So that's a very, very good change. I'm very happy to see that, you know, get changed. I didn't expect them to fully remove it, but yeah, that's also a change, so I'll take it. This was very, very annoying. You could like turn a corner and after you had aggroed a scav, and the scav would just sit there and go like and just like shoot at you even though you were in cover, and you would just like shoot directly at the wall you were standing behind. So it felt really just weird and off. I also think that due to how scav accuracy works, which is that like the longer a scav is able to continuously fire at you, the more accurate they'll get, right? So if a scav is just sitting in the open shooting at you and, you know, you're not hiding or shooting back, they'll become more and more accurate until they just one-shot you. And I think this also happened with the suppressive fire, because you could be in cover and the scav would shoot at you while you're in cover, and then that would count as continuous fire and their accuracy would increase. And then when you re-peeked them, you would just get one shot in the eyes, you know, which was a really shitty feeling. And I think this is actually why, because of this interplay between suppressive fire and how their accuracy gain during continuous fire works. So hopefully this removes that as well. They increased the temporary AI accuracy loss when being hit by 30%. That's pretty good. I think that's going to help get rid of a lot of those situations where you could sit there and clock a scav in the chest with 308 and they just one-tapped you with perfect accuracy. So that's pretty good. Happy to see that. Bot spawn points can no longer be used too frequently. This is very interesting. If a bot spawn point is not blocked by a nearby player, but has been utilized before, it will have a continuously increasing availability timer. Hopefully this is going to help reduce the feeling of scavs just spawning continuously, and it's going to help stagger out these scav spawns a little bit. So very good change. A singular player will no longer be the trigger for too many bot spawns. Guess that goes kind of hand in hand with the bots communicating that we talked about earlier. So if a particular player is very successful at killing bots within a single raid, the system will no longer maintain a dynamic rate and create a constant influx of bots. Very good. Oh my god, that is a good change. A singular player can be the trigger for a random number of enemies, but no more than a certain value. So basically bot spawns seem to cap out. That is very, very good. I think that's a little bit more like how bots used to work as well. So good change. Common AI of all difficulty levels, including sniper scavs, will no longer be the first to shoot at long range, even if they have detected an enemy. So now, if an enemy is detected at very long range, the bot, being uncertain of their skills, will prefer to take cover and switch to a waiting tactic. However, if the player themselves has detected the bot and attacked them, the bot will shoot back. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, obviously. But that is a very good change. I'm assuming that means that scavs and sniper scavs will actually hold their fire unless you are a threat to them if you are at a far range. But if you're approaching their position or pushing them, they might actually open fire, which is exactly how it should work in my opinion. They improved the AI positioning system, and this change will help to improve their behavior in a group and reduce the number of situations in which bots are moving too close to each other or occupying the same cover. With this system, we will be able to fix bugs related to bots colliding with each other more efficiently. That's very good. Hopefully that removes bots, you know, just walking through a door at the same time and stuff like that, basically inside of each other. Hopefully it gets rid of issues like that. Very cool. Then there are also some general fixes. So they fixed an issue where the thorax hitbox would not receive damage if a bullet had penetrated the arm before hitting the thorax. So this is the infamous arm bug, which has happened, I don't know, 18 fucking times now or something in Tarkov's lifetime. This bug should simply not happen. Like, I have no idea how BSG keeps having this bug resurrect itself. Absolutely remarkable. However, this happened as a result of the patch that came before this one, which we only got like, what, less than a week ago. So this is a very quick fix, I'll give them that. But this bug should just simply not be allowed to make a comeback every few updates. They fixed numerous minor bugs related to bot behavior, movement, getting stuck, positioning, target visibility, and shooting. Okay, very good. Fixed several issues that caused bots to pass through closed doors. Okay, finally, that has been happening for a long time. The door interaction system will be adjusted in the future, and we will monitor the related issues if they arise. Okay, so they're probably not 100% confident they actually fixed it, but let's see. They fixed various issues with transparent geometry rendering and conflicts with various visual effects, such as smoke, water, fire, and fog. Okay, good. Fixed the cause of a sharp sound when equipping headsets during strong wind. Personally, haven't experienced that, but okay, that's good. Fixed a 100% chance of arm fracture after failing a QTE in the gym. Okay, nice. Fixed the volume balance of bullets hitting the player. Fixed the incorrect reverb in some areas on interchange. Okay. Fixed the cause of missing BTR driver tasks for some players who have fulfilled all the necessary requirements in PvE mode. I'm sure the PvEers will be happy about that. Fixed the cause of error 228 when dragging items in stash after upgrading a game edition. Okay. How about they fix that error in total, huh? I keep getting that fucking error daily. That would be very nice, thank you. Fixed the cause of missing the Unheard Edition bonuses for some players in PvE mode. Okay. Fixed an issue where the NFM Yelm helmet not blocking damage to the back of the head. Okay, I did not know that was a thing, but good. Transitions between locations in PvE mode will now take into account the offline and online mode the player selected before starting the first raid. Okay, so just some general fixes and bug fixes right there to end the patch notes. But in totality, this is a very impactful patch. This is going to be really fun to play around with these next few days and weeks. And hopefully Scavs are going to be in a much better place now than what they have been, because Scavs have been a massive headache, I think, to most players. I think most people would agree with me there, for years at this point. So hopefully, I don't know, this might not fix Scavs in their entirety. We might need a few more patches to even out a lot of the nuance, but hopefully this is a major step in the right direction, and I'm very excited to see how this is going to play out. But yeah, that's all I had for this video. Let me know what you guys think about the changes in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.